Uh, Thank you so much. I am glad to be here, and thank you for inviting me to give a short talk, sharing my experience working as an early career researcher from Nigeria to China and currently in the United States for my postdoc. And with this, I've worked with quite a lot of researchers across globe. What do we understand as an early career researcher? These are researchers that are in the early stage of their career. For instance, PhD students that are done with their courseworks, postdoctoral researcher, independent postdocs, and assistant professor that are not tenured, that are just starting up. So, in the categories of ECR, this is what I think are the categories based on my experience. At the bottom of the ladder, we have the PhD students, then followed by postdocs, and followed by assistant professors or people that are independent researchers that are just starting up. With this, we'll go to what is collaboration. Collaboration in the age of internet is working together with different people, possibly within the same country or outside different country with a mutual interest. That is, they have the same goal, coming together for mutually beneficial professional relationship. And each of the collaborators have assigned tasks that they want to carry out. And that is the essence of collaboration. From my experience, I divided collaborative models and collaboration into two types, like lateral collaborations, that is peer to peer. What do I mean by lateral collaboration? These are collaboration that is within students, within postdocs, within established professors. But we are talking about early career researcher here, so I'm going to limit this to PhD students, postdocs, or even publication or research that is being carried out by PhD students and postdoc together without having an established faculty member among the researchers. The other type of collaboration is hierarchical collaboration, and this a collaboration that involves having experienced researchers around, like the PI of the lab alongside the students, or a consortium where you have professors, leading professors, or well-established professors leading the consortium, where also you have ECR as members. In this kind of collaboration, the ECR learn a lot from the experience of the established folks. Uh, this paper was published in 2021, and this is an example of a lateral collaboration. All the authors in these papers were first year PhD students, and this paper was initiated as a collaboration during COVID while we were all in China. It's only one person from the list of authors that was in India as at the time of this paper. All others were in China in this doing different program at the Chinese Academy of Sciences from different field. And for this kind of collaboration, every author from beginning to end were early career researcher, and we do not have any professor among us then. What are the lessons that were derived from this publication? At the beginning, it came up as an idea when COVID started. And we were like, okay, what can we contribute to the society as early career researcher? And that was what battered the publication. However, one of the downside of this kind of collaboration is that sometimes being early career with little or no experience, you kind of lack direction and guidance, which was lacking when we were writing this paper. There are people wrote a lot, but because there was no experienced figure like an experienced researcher or experienced professor among us, there are a lot of issues. But it was a learning process for all of us. The second example that I'm giving is an example of the hierarchical model of collaboration. Here we have experienced researchers from the US, China, Europe, and virtually all the continents that were present in this paper, which was published in 2021. Even though for us early career researchers that were part of this paper, our contribution was minimal, but we relied on the experience of the experienced faculty members that are part of the collaboration. And we learn a lot, and it also serves as an opportunity for us to be mentored and taken through how to undo a collaboration that is inclusive. What are the barriers that are affecting ECR collaboration across board? The first thing is communication. Sometimes when you reach out to folks after reading their papers, they don't respond. So how, which is a major setback for any career researcher. You are trying to run an analysis, or you read a paper and you need the protocol, or you read a paper, you need the codes. The codes were not shared online. It's and you send an email and people don't respond. The other aspect is funding. Funding sometimes are given to established researchers because of their experience and because they've been well grounded in writing proposals that are being funded. One of the things that I enjoyed while I was during my stay and with interaction with other guys from China is that as a postdoc, you are given a startup fund. And this is the kind of thing that I think other countries and other nations or continents should emulate. Like as an early career researcher, you are given a startup fund for your postdoc, even if it's not much, but at least it's something to get something started. The other barrier is time management and pressure. As an early career researcher, you are under serious pressure. And if care is not taken in managing time, you wouldn't even achieve anything. Another one is job security. For an early career researcher that is just starting up as an assistant professor that is not tenured, there if it's either you publish to secure your tenure or not. Like the job is not there. For instance, a postdoc, the PI might decide to fire the postdoc anyhow, anytime, and if there is no funding. Even sometimes when there is funding, for lack of performance, the PI could fire such person. Poor mentorship. Sometimes the PI themselves, they are they have a lot of things going on and they have a lot of things to manage. And it's at times tell on their lab uh, members. Also, institutional support. It is important for success of early careers for institutions to have career support for early career researcher that are just starting up. Also, competition. Sometimes early career researcher might feel they are competing with someone else. So when they have ideas, they don't tend to share with people. Then how can we overcome this barrier? From my experience, code emailing is important. While communication might be an issue sometimes, you don't relent. You need to send emails to a lot of people when you're having problem or you are trying to create work with other people. For instance, during my PhD, when I was in China having some sort of challenges, I reached out to a lot of folks, and a sizable number of them responded. And through that email exchange, we started what is today known as fruitful collaboration. I have collaborators from Norway, and I have collaborators in the US, and I have collaborators from Australia. And the collaboration I gained during my PhD, I still have good rapport with my lab in China, with my former professor and some of the students that we did our PhD together. It is also important for ECR to have professional support. For instance, at conferences where mentorship opportunities are being created. Another form of professional support is having dedicated funds for conference attendance for ECR, for them to attend conferences, gain ideas, and being mentored by established researchers. Then funding opportunities for ECR. It is important for the government and excuse me, for the government and institution to set aside some certain funding for early career researcher as startup funds, and also to encourage them into for their own research. So thank you so much. These are people that I've worked with. My professor from China, Professor Wo Enchang Wang from Wuhan Botanical Garden, Professor Dentao from Kunming Institute of Botany, John Josh Shesa from Sweden Institute of Biodiversity, Jacob Landis and Eris, and also my collaborator in the United States, Sydney Everhart, currently the head of department at Michigan State University, Kate, Sergio, and a lot of others. Thank you guys for listening.